morning, top producers. Good morning, problem solvers. Good morning, everyone. And thank you for joining the show, the Problem Solver Show. Today, I got a great topic for you. Today, we're going to talk about limited mindset. Limited mindset. This has been a huge, huge problem for me, and it's a very dear topic to me. And I think it's the problem for many, 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 many people who are trying to become the elite version of themselves. The reason why they're not becoming the elite version of themselves is most of the time limited mindset. So, this is a topic that is very, very, very uncovered. We don't talk about it enough. I think we need to talk about it more. So, that's the reason why today I wanted to talk about limited mindset. Why is this a dear topic to me? I grew up in a family, middle middle class family in Bulgaria, but middle class in Bulgaria is not the same as middle class in America. So my parents are definitely limited mindset folks. My mom, not so much. She's more of a dreamer, but my dad is a firm limited mindset man. He's an example of what limited mindset is. He's very talented, but unfortunately has a very limited mindset. So the most powerful limits really come from childhood. And growing up in Bulgaria, things were very difficult, especially in the transition from socialism to democracy. And during those times of uncertainty, the economy was completely destroyed. Um, Parents and kids were forced to wait on lines for bread, for just necessary survival. Um, and we were taught that not everyone has a lot, that everyone has very little. And, you know, sometimes the unresolved baggage from our childhood can have severe impact on our adulthood. That's what I believe strongly. I remember that on Christmas we would have certain foods that we wouldn't eat during the rest of the year, certain fruits like oranges and um, bananas and things like that, which are very cheap here. Like bananas are $2 for 2 pounds or something like that. They're super super cheap. So we were limited in what we could have. I never had a bicycle, like my own bicycle. My parents never bought me bicycle, or um, some of the kicks that I really wanted, like Jordans or Nikes, were not available to me. I had to have the cheaper version, which really hurts your self esteem in school. But it doesn't matter, all those things. I noticed that the shoes were a big deal because when I moved to the States, the first few years I was buying shoes like crazy. Literally, at some point, I had probably 50, 60, if not even 70 pairs of shoes, different sports shoes, some shoes that I didn't wear. I had so many clothes that I bought with the tags on. So that was a reflection of my limited beliefs and my limits back in Bulgaria. Same thing is with bicycle. I bought a very expensive bicycle, and the first thing I did when my parents moved to the States, and when my dad arrived, I bought him a very expensive bicycle because I really, really, really wanted bicycle. So that's just as a kid. So that's just a little story about me, and the limited beliefs go way beyond that. Not just about material stuff, but how much you can achieve. Um, what can you? What? How can you make a difference in the world? And a lot more fundamental problems, right? So we just can't change what we are not aware of, and many people are just not aware that have limited beliefs. And Once we were aware of the fact that we have limited beliefs and it's been a lie that we've been telling ourselves, we cannot help ourselves but to change. So I was one of those people. And I realized that I've been limiting myself, that no one else is in charge of what I believe in. And I started working very hard towards unlocking that, towards burying those limited beliefs. So I want to share with you some of the things that I've done in the past and I'm still doing, because I still communicate with a lot of people who have limiting beliefs, and it's a struggle communicating with those folks, because it's easier for the force of average, for the force of limiting beliefs, to pull you back into not believing in yourself and not believing in the fact that you can and you will, and it's achievable. It's easier for them to pull you into the force of average than you pulling them back up. So, what I wanted to share with you is some tips on how uh, yeah, that's right, Jonathan. um, on how I handle those things, right? So the three toxic mindset. I put down three toxic mindsets that we need to be aware of, and one of them is really bad. This is the most common one in limiting beliefs. And by the way, you know, I read some of the comments here. I never grew up thinking that those things, brands, were important until I got older. Then I wanted them. That's Jonathan's comment, and I agree with that absolutely. You definitely didn't grow up in with those beliefs. So in Bulgaria, even today, people are judged. The definition of success is how much material things you possess. So people are still judged based on that. And it's sad. And I don't have that belief anymore. But that's the point of this show. So now I'm going to share with you some of the some of the things that lead to limited mindset, the three toxic mindsets that you need to be aware of. If you have one of those mindsets, you need to change, because the power is within you. Or if you notice that somebody carries those mindsets, you need to make them aware, number one. And number two, uh, try to stay away. So the first one is the fixed to growth mindset. Fixed mindset is founded on the belief that you can't change. This is so sad. So many people say, "Oh, I'm 40 years old. There's no, I'm too old already." Or some women say, I'm 40 years old. I can't have kids anymore." Some man says, "I'm too old to play sports. I'm 36. I'm 52. I'm too old for this." So those are fixed beliefs that we fixed, right? They're not true. We haven't checked if they're true or not. So you are who you are, and that's final. That's what those people believe, that you are who you are. You can't change. You were born this way. You're just not lucky, and you know you are who you are. There's no room for growth. So that mindset is definitely wrong, and you're definitely fluid and moldable being. You can change, you can become whatever you want. This is a fact, and so many people against the odds have proven that in history. So my point is this: the fixed mindset is the worst thing that you could experience. When you put conditions on yourself of what you can achieve and what you cannot achieve, um, you make the rules. So, you know, keep people aware of the fact that they do have a chance. Show them examples if you can. Some of the people who say I'm too old, there's several examples of actors who made it big in their 60s and their 50s. uh, Several examples of people who became doctors and lawyers in their 50s and their 60s and had stellar careers. So sometimes the genius lies within us, and we just don't unleash it. We just don't allow it to be free. because of limited beliefs and because of the people that are surrounding us. So we were very limited as kids. I agree with you, Vasilina. Uh, and we were completely destroyed as far as mindset and the way we were thinking about ourselves as well. I think school system has a lot to do with that. School system. Think about it. If you have a bad grade, if you have a poor grade, how are you going to try again if the school system claims you as someone who is not smart, someone who is not fast enough, someone who's not good, right? So we need to upgrade our mindset to a growth mindset. If we have the fixed mindset, we need to change to growth mindset. And I'm so fortunate to be passionate about my growth and to have that growth mindset, which means the belief system that says that we can change anything we want is the growth mindset. And failures is our foundation for growth. And we look at failures as simply as opportunities to grow, simply as lessons that we learned and mistakes we'll never make again. So they're not measurements of our self-worth. Failures are not measurements of our self-worth. Just because we failed once or twice in the past, it doesn't mean that this is who we are. So get rid of the fixed mindset and move it into growth mindset and try to be better than yesterday. Start with that. It's very simple. Number two of the scary mindsets and the limited mindsets is when you're afraid of success. I call this the scarcity to abundance mindset. And so many people are legitimately afraid of having all. So many people are afraid of having success because what are they going to do if they lose it? So it's terrible. But the scarcity mindset is kind of like there's only enough for me and take what I can and run. This is not uh, this is not the right way to think. There is no shortage of people. Number one, there is 7-8 billion people on planet Earth. It would literally take you 245 years if you spend 1 second to look at each person. So you can't meet everyone. There is abundance of people, and you will be lying to yourself if you think that there's no perfect match for you, that there's no significant other for you, that there's no best friends out there, there's no good people out there, when there is so many people that you can't really handle, you can't really comprehend. So there are great people out there, but you need to meet new people every day in order to find them. So there is also no shortage of money. There's no shortage of resources on planet Earth. If all the money that are in print, especially after the pandemic, are divided by the number of people who live on planet Earth, we would find out that every person probably would have about $500,000 in their account. That's how much money is in print. That's how much money is in circulation right now. That every human being would have at least $500,000 in their accounts. So there's no shortage of people. You just got to figure out how to get it. Money is a game. It doesn't really exist. It's not really a reality. Once when you find the what money really is, it's just a game. Something that we need to. Every game has rules, and every game has winners and losers. So it's a game that we need to learn how to play. That's what money is. But it doesn't mean that it only goes to those who are lucky or those who are fortunate to have good parents. It goes to anyone who wants it, anyone who wants to attract it, and anyone who wants to know the rules and who plays the game. So the third mindset that is extremely limiting is entertainment versus education. Most people spend their time in entertainment, but successful people and people who have growth mindset and people who achieve many things definitely are focused on education. So entertainment isn't bad. It's just most people can't use entertainment. They don't have the self control to use it as a relaxation tool or to use it in a healthy way. Most people use entertainment in a way that it creates guilt, it creates shame, and it makes you feel like you're not productive and you're wasting your time. So it backfires on you. But if you spend your entertainment time in education, and there's a lot of educators who are very entertaining, uh, I'm one of them. If you invest in education, you will definitely get get results. You will definitely be able to be more focused, think about the important things, be able to implement some of the education you've learned in moments you didn't really expect, and it will be very, very fresh change in your life. If you acquire a new skill, your odds for success will raise dramatically. It doesn't matter what that skill is. Like if you learn how to code right now, you'll be able to, um, you'll be more advantageous than 70% of the world, right? And coding has been around for such a long time. But that's just a one example. So don't fear being different. Fear joining the force of average, fear joining mediocrity, fear fitting in with the sheep. Don't fear being different. Don't fear being unique, but be afraid of the force of average, because that is what is going to steal you from living your best life and being the elite version of yourself. So, um, another thing I wanted to talk to you about is your estimations of yourself are probably wrong. Have you ever met someone that you felt was a great person, or very talented or very skilled at something that they're not actually doing, and you told them, "Wow, you're actually very good at that. You're actually very talented," and they said, "Oh no, I'm not." So those people definitely have self-sabotage and limiting beliefs, and they're definitely not giving themselves the right estimate. So it's important for you to be self-aware and invest the time of self-awareness, which includes most of the time, feedback from other people as well, to be able to understand exactly where you stand, who you are, and what the actual estimations of your inventory are. Fear of being the same as the mass. Yeah, this is a legitimate fear. Do not be the same as the mass. Do not join the force of average. The force of average is simply people who have the fixed mindset, and they will tell you you're not going to make it, because they don't want you to make it. And that's why. And the reason why they don't want you to make it is because they have fixed themselves. So they think that you're crazy. And if you end up breaking what they believe in, if you end up actually achieving it, they are going to feel terrible, because they have this fixed mindset. So they realize the lie. And deep inside, everybody realizes the lie of the fixed mindset. So I've got some tips for you. Don't seek security. Many people seek security. Many people are looking for jobs to secure a specific income, to secure a specific place to live, or some people even fall into relationships. So many people look for relationships specifically because security is their main objective, and security is really not the most secure way to go through life. All right, you need to seek growth, constantly seek growth, so you can adapt through life. Freedom and growth are very, very well connected, and you got to seek growth even if it's very, very uncomfortable. And I want to talk to you, I want to show you a chart here. So if you stick around, I want to show you a chart on how you could realize the comfort zone and help you with that as well. So there are three primary securities, if I may share with you, that you must give up if you want to become the best version of yourself. In order to become the elite version of yourself, you need to give up on three things. So write them down and start working on those things right now. The number one thing is the certainty of the future. So many people are obsessed with having to know exactly what's going to happen in the future. Horoscopes. They go to psychics. They want to know their future. They visualize their future. They, if it doesn't go their way, they're upset. So Certainty about the future, especially now. I think COVID is a good reality check for us. Um, we take a lot more action, we save a lot more money, we do a lot more things, we're a lot more focused when we don't know what's going to happen in the next 3 months. Right now we're in a situation like that. We have no idea what's going to happen in the next 3 4 months. The uncertainty is keeping us awake. If we were certain about what's going to happen, we would be calm and comfortable. So you gotta give up on the certainty of the future if you want to be the elite version of you. Number two, fear of judgment. Do not be afraid of criticism. Do not be afraid of being judged. You will be judged no matter what type of life you live. Jesus Christ was judged. He actually died on the cross and he was judged in the worst possible way. Mother Teresa is judged. Everyone is being judged, regardless of how good you are and how good you do for people. So you are going to be judged. You need to give up on that fear of judgment. You know, when you are judged, just don't take it as what it is. Take the time to analyze it, and see if it's something that it's worth being sad about, or something that you could celebrate because you would take action on how to change that, right, on what you're judged about. So remember that you need to repent and ask for forgiveness, and that's all it takes. Number three, other people's definition of success. So if you follow other people's definition of success, that is a guaranteed way that you're not going to be happy with what you arrive at and where you arrive at. Everyone has their own definition of success. Everyone has their own values and their own qualities and their own talent. So you need to give up on the definition of success for others. If somebody wants a Lambo a lot, that doesn't mean that the Lambo is going to make you as happy as it would make that someone. So give up on certainty for the future, fear of judgment, and other people's definition of success. Those are the three tips that I wanted to give you. And in conclusion, what I wanted to do is show you this little chart here, which is the comfort zone, right? The comfort zone chart. As you can see in the red area here is the comfort zone where people feel safe and in control. So some people that have their rent paid, they have their food in the fridge, they have their beverage in the fridge, they have their bills paid, they might feel that they're having a good life. Like sometimes um, I do um, meet, or right now I'm single, so I'm trying to find my queen, and I appreciate and I talk to some ladies, and when I ask what is your dream life, what is the elite version of you look like, what what is your goal, what is your vision for success, and when they tell me I just want a normal life, have my bills paid, and that's deep in the comfort zone. All right, so comfort zone when you feel safe and when you're in control. The next level is lack of self confidence, the fear zone. That's why most people do not want to leave the comfort zone, because they are in the orange part, which is lack of self confidence, the fear zone. They find excuses, they blame everyone but themselves. They also don't own their problems. They complain about stuff and they're affected by other people's opinion, right? So that's the second phase. In order to get comfort zone, you need to go through that phase. So you need to smash other people's opinion. You got to stop using excuses, and you need to work on your self confidence, right? Some of the best way to raise your confidence is when you improve your physique, when you start taking care of your body, when you start taking care of your appearance. People are going to notice right away that you look nicer, and the way you look is sometimes the way you feel, and the way you feel is sometimes the way you look. So in order to increase your self-confidence, best way is to improve the way you look, the easiest way. The next one is the yellow phase right here, where you deal with challenges and problems. You're learning a lot more. You're learning that you didn't know anything. You're learning that you're going through a big transformation. You acquire some new skills. You learn how to learn. You learn how to breathe. You learn so many different things that you didn't know and were keeping you a slave of your own mind. And now you extend your comfort zone. So your comfort zone is getting a little bit bigger. And then finally, the goal is to get to the green zone so you can find purpose in your life, live your dreams. You're constantly in growth zone. You're constantly growing. You're growing every single day. You set new goals and you conquer new objectives. So this is what the comfort zone chart looks like, and I communicate with people in the comfort zone, and I communicate with people who are just a little bit outside of the comfort zone, and I also communicate with people who are in the growth mindset, and they're definitely in the learning zone, and they're about to become the elite version of themselves. And I'm definitely somewhere around there between the yellow and the green, working on becoming the elite version of myself. If you guys want to join me in that journey and want to become the best version and the elite version of yourself, then continue to show up here every morning at 8:30. We're going to have another show tomorrow, and we're going to discuss topic from life. Who knows what it will be? But today I felt like talking about limited mindset. It's a very dear topic to me. And it's the only thing that could create a prison that we have the key to unlock the cage. The key is within us. As long as we realize that. I hope this was helpful. And I hope you realize that due to the limiting mindsets we've adopted early on, we've developed mistaken beliefs. And it's sad. And the current limitations we have are actually true unless we change them, unless we change our mind, unless we prepare ourselves for the level of abundance that exists in this world. Make it a great day. Be the elite version of you. And join me again tomorrow.